kanina wala akong nararamdaman. Sa totoo lang, wala talaga akong nararamdaman. Hindi ako galit, hindi ako disappointed. Nothing at all. Kasi pointless naman na mag-harbor ako ng feelings about what happened. Hindi na siya maibabalik. Hindi na mababalik si Pangulong Duterte sa Pilipinas. So what we should do as a country is move on from what happened. No? What will we do as our ways forward as a country and as a people from what happened? Magalit man tayo, walang papupuntahan yung galit natin. Dahil hindi naman yan sila papanagutin ng pamahalaan eh. Nakikita niyo yung mga sagot nila, wala na sa ayos. Unfounded yung fears, walang basihan. Sinasabi lang nila siguro yan para, I don't know, huwag pabalikin ang Pangulo sa ating bansa. Bakit ayaw nila pabalikin? Well, meron silang they are in collusion with individuals, both in the government and outside of, from the private sector. They are in collusion with organizations who are against the former president because of his policies noong siya ay Pangulo. They are in collusion with people who want to stay in power, with people who want to totally erase political opposition, who want to question.
Hunger for power.
It will divide the nation.
Okay. Ma'am Sel, are you okay na?
Yeah, okay na po. Ano, malinaw na po ba? Sorry. Yeah. Ma'am, sorry. My first question is, how optimistic are you that the former president will be granted an interim release?
I do not know, ma'am. I've not read any documents about his interim release. I've not heard the statements of prosecutors with regard to interim release, lalo na sa ating mga judges. So, hindi ko alam kung how it will sway, kung meron man siyang request or application for interim release. Hindi ko masagot ang chances niyan. At ang optimism level ko sa ngayon ay 0, but only because hindi ko naririnig kung ano ang sasabihin ng prosecutors at ng judges.
Ma'am, another question. Sorry if I have to ask this because some of the families, relatives of those alleged victims of the war on drugs claim that their lives would be threatened or at risk if the former president will be allowed to return to the Philippines because they're afraid that the former president or may do something bad against them. So is there any basis for their fear?
None at all, ma'am. Matagal naman namin alam na merong investigation na ginagawa sa loob ng Pilipinas dahil nakukuha namin yung information sa mga abogado mismo na gumagawa nun at sa ibang mga government personnel. No? Hindi ko na lang sasabihin kung ano yung mga opisina na yon. Kaya nga nagkaroon ako ng Zoom meeting with the Secretary of Justice noong 2023. Kasi sinasabi ko sa kanya na naiintindihan ko na merong investigation na nangyayari. Pero wala kasi talaga silang jurisdiction. So, I was picking his brain on what his thoughts were about this. But I did not tell him that I knew that there were investigations and interview of witnesses. I asked him what is his position. And then he gave deferring answers ba. So I went up directly to the office of the president. That is why I wrote the letter about the ICC. And that is why we have a letter, a response from the office of the president na sinasabi niya na he will protect national sovereignty and then he doesn't recognize the ICC jurisdiction dyan sa ating bayan. So, yun, ma'am.
So do you believe on the reasoning of the president that he's just honoring the agreement with the Interpol, or it's just like a lame excuse to surrender the former president to the ICC?
Wala naman tayong obligation na mag-cooperate sa Interpol, ma'am, kasi yung ICC warrant, yung warrant na hawak ng Interpol is an ICC warrant. So hindi mo naman, you cannot just take one and leave the other because the Interpol was holding an ICC warrant. So naturally, cooperating with the Interpol is cooperating with the ICC. I think klaro naman na talaga yon, no? Sa atin lahat na yung pamahalaan talaga natin ang naghatid na sa ating Pangulo doon sa dito sa The Hague, sa ICC. Mambalikan ko lang yung concern ng mga pamilya, family members ng mga victims. Nakita niyo po ba si Pangulong Duterte? Alam na namin, 'di ba, na nag-iimbestiga, nag-i-interview ng witnesses. Alam namin kung sino, alam namin kung saan, pero wala siyang ginawa talaga. Pinabayaan niya because he was of the belief that as a Filipino citizen, the government will not cooperate once there is a formal investigation that will happen inside the Philippines or once there is a warrant of arrest. So wala talaga siyang ginawa sa mga witnesses, sa mga family members. Pangalawa, nakita nyo, kailangan siya itulak ng mga pulis para gumalaw. At kailangan siya itulak akyat ng eroplano. So, wala na siya physically magagawa sa mga family members at sa mga witnesses. Pwede ba siya mag-utos ng mga tao na, on my behalf, gawin ito, gawin niyo yan? Pwede siguro, pero hindi niya ginawa noon. Ngayon pa ba niya gagawin? 'Di ba? Na nandyan na siya. And meron ng protection yung mga family members. Meron na silang protection ng ICC at meron silang protection ng Philippine government. Their fears are unfounded and hindi ganyan ang tatay ko. Kung ano man yung kailangan niya sagutin, sasagutin niya yan. Pero hindi siya magtatamper ng evidence. Kasi unang-una, wala naman talagang ebidensya. Hindi ko alam paano umabot ito sa isang kaso. At hindi siya makikialam sa witnesses dahil isa siyang prosecutor noon. At alam niya kung ano ang violation niya as a lawyer kung nagtatamper ka ng evidence at nakikialam ka ng witnesses. So, unfounded yung fears, walang basihan. Sinasabi lang nila siguro yan para, I don't know, huwag pabalikin ang Pangulo sa ating bansa. Bakit ayaw nila pabalikin? Well, meron silang mga, they are in collusion with individuals, both in the government and outside of, from the private sector. They are in collusion with organizations who are against the former president because of his policies noong siya ay Pangulo. They are in collusion with people who want to stay in power, with people who want to totally erase political opposition, who want to question uh, the acts of government. So, sa tingin ko yan yun eh.
Okay, last question, ma'am. So as part of the defense of the former president, is there any plan to like bring into like The Hague some witnesses for the former president?
I am not part of his legal team. Nandito lang ako kasi kailangan nila ng kausap sa labas. So kinakausap nila si Pangulong Duterte sa loob at kinakausap nila ako sa labas so that there is someone who will sign off on what was agreed upon with the client, no? So hindi ako part ng legal team. As I said, I am a Filipino citizen here helping the former president go back home. And I am here as a daughter as well. Moral support doon sa kanya.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, last 3 questions po tayo, ma'am. Next question, Miss Joyce
Oo,
Adra.
kasi Jay, it's
Yeah.
8:05. No, may 9 a.m. meeting
Alright.
ako. Sabi mo isang oras lang ito.
Miss Joyce Adra, RMN News, then followed by Glenn Wego, Super Radio.
Good afternoon po, VP. Ma'am, ask ko lang po, meron kasi mga report na peke yung ibang EJK victims. Sa kapisanan ng mga broadcaster na Pilipinas sa forum po the other day, hindi naman ito dininay ni Attorney Claire Castro at ang parang sinisipa niya yung isang media na nagtanong sa kanya na alam mo naman palang kapitbahay mo yung isa at hindi pala totoong EJK victim, bakit hindi mo sinulat ng tama? Bakit hindi mo itinama yung isinulat mo? So kayo po, anong masasabi niyo po dito sa mga sinasabing pekeng EJK victims? Thank you po.
Nasabi ko nga kanina, Opo, ma'am, thank you. Nasabi ko nga kanina, ma'am, no, hindi ko alam paano umabot ito sa isang kaso. Wala talaga silang ebidensya at all for murder or crimes against humanity. Hindi ko alam. It baffles me. Really, truly. How this has happened, no? So, kasali na din siguro dyan, ma'am, yung mga peking supposedly victims, no? Kasali na yan dyan. Kasi ito lahat ay gawa-gawa lamang unang-una ni Senator Trillanes noon. At syempre nakakuha siya ng, ano bang tawag niyan? Kakampi o kaalyado sa loob ng pamahalaan. So, yon.
Miss Joyce, okay ka na? Are you good? Oh, wala na. Okay, last question.
Okay
Raymond
na po,
Antonio.
sir. Thank you po. Thank you. I'm done po. Thank you.
Raymond Antonio, Marita Bulletin, last question, then we're wrap up.
VP, good afternoon. Senator De La Rosa admitted having an ill feeling towards National Security Advisor Eduardo Año following the arrest of your father, the former president. How about you, VP? What do you feel right now, given that Año was one of your father's men and member of his cabinet? And lastly, Vice, meron din po kasing lumulutang na I don't know how would I say this, report or rumor na there was a traitor in the Duterte camp that also led to the arrest of your father, VP. Thank you.
Okay. Hindi ko narinig. Anong sabi ni Senator Bato de la Rosa daw kay Anyo?
According to Senator De La Rosa, the senator was disappointed to Secretary Año. He felt
Disappointed.
bit betrayed knowing na Secretary Año previously worked as PRRD's former AFP Chief of Staff and DILG Secretary then. kasama siya sa nagplan nung supposedly alleged kidnapping ni PRRD going to The Hague.
May I add, VP, may report kasi kasama siya doon sa core group na nagplano doon sa arrest ni former president. And then, sabi po ni Senator Bato, out of courtesy daw po, sana nasabihan man lang kayo about the arrest. That's it, VP. Thank you.
Okay. Alam mo, tinanong na rin ako kanina, di ba, how am I? Sabi ko, kanina wala akong nararamdaman. Sa totoo lang, wala talaga akong nararamdaman. Hindi ako galit, hindi ako disappointed. Nothing at all. Kasi pointless naman na mag-harbor ako ng feelings about what happened. Hindi na siya maibabalik. Hindi na mababalik si Pangulong Duterte sa Pilipinas. So what we should do as a country is move on from what happened. No? What will we do as our ways forward as a country and as a people from what happened? Magalit man tayo, walang papupuntahan yung galit natin. Dahil hindi naman yan sila papanagutin ng pamahalaan ni. Nakikita niyo yung mga sagot nila, wala na sa ayos, wala na sa rason, wala na sa common sense, wala na sa batas. Pero walang magagawa laban sa kanila. So we should move forward from what happened, and the country should decide, the people should decide saan ba tayo papunta base sa nangyari. Kung meron bang traitor doon sa loob ng grupo na nag-usap sa Hong Kong, nandun ako sa kwarto sa mga nag-meeting with former President Duterte. Hindi ko matawag siguro na traitor, pero sigurado ako sa dami ng tao doon sa loob ng kwarto na yon ay meron talagang nagsasabi kung ano ang pinag-uusapan doon sa loob. Kung kanino nila sinasabi, hindi ko alam. Pero kung sino ba ang nagsabi na may traitor? So malamang kung yung nagsabi na may traitor doon sa loob, malamang siya yung kausap noong tao na nandoon sa loob sa kwarto sa Hong Kong. Klaruhin ko lang na nag-divide ng trabaho doon sa loob ng meeting na yon. Ako ang nag-moderate sa meeting. Tinanong ko si President Duterte kung ano ang desisyon mo at ano ang gusto mong gawin. Ang sinabi niya, gusto ko umuwi sa Pilipinas. Hindi ako titira sa ibang bayan at hindi ako magtatago. Yun ang sagot niya. And Attorney Bingbong Medaldea was tasked to do the legal remedies pagdating sa loob ng Pilipinas. Ang desisyon na agahan yung flight, ang flight nila ay alas 4, ang desisyon na agahan yung flight ay galing kay Pangulong Duterte dahil ini-expect niya dadalhin siya sa korte. Kasi yun ang dapat na ginawa doon sa arrest warrant. Kung may traitor man, malamang dahil merong nagsabi merong traitor, traitor siya siguro sa information at binigay niya doon sa kabila. But I don't think meron siyang binigay na information na valuable din sa Philippine National Police dahil alam naman ng lahat at hindi tinago, no, na uuwi si Pangulong Duterte at kung anong oras siya uuwi sa Pilipinas. At ang desisyon na umuwi ay sa kanya. Sabi niya, hindi siya magtatago. Uuwi siya ng bayan niya.